Hey there, Rednecks, Preppies, Redneck Preppies. It's me, the Redneck Preppy. How you doing today? Great. Good. A bit of a treat, at least for people like me. We're going to open up a box of 1950s vintage .303 British ammunition that was acquired by the Canadian government for the Korean War. Now, I picked up this pack some years back, and I never intended on shooting it. For me, this was purely collecting. Today, though, we're not just going to open up the box. No, this is the Redneck Preppy. We up things up a notch. We're actually going to also pull apart one of the rounds to see what components were used. Now, some background before we begin. The 48 round pack began life in World War II and were packed in crates of 1,248 cartridges, so that means 26 of these packs per crate. Now, from what I've found in researching this stuff, the 48 round pack was mostly used in the 1950s for Bren gun magazines. The infantry apparently didn't get these packs, at least not usually, but they received their ammunition in 10 round chargers that were in 5-pouch cloth bandoliers. Anyway, let's get on to the box. Not much in the way of markings. What we can see here is that it does have 48 cartridges in this pack. It is obviously 303 British or 303 inch Mark 7 ammunition as it was denoted back then. The manufacture date is 1950. The CIA mark is the manufacturer's mark, in this case, Canadian Industries Limited. Not sure why it doesn't say CIL as it did on their civilian production ammunition, but it might mean Canada Industries Arsenal, as someone told me while I was doing some research. The C with the broad arrow denotes that it was in fact purchased by the Canadian government for military use. There's not much else on this particular package except for some handwriting on this side. Now, I can't make out most of what it says, this part right here, but the date is pretty clear. August 9th to 10th, 1952. I am going to be honest with you, I haven't the foggiest idea of what this refers to. It's been there, though, ever since. And that's it. There's not much else in the way of markings. I suspect this might have been opened up at some point in the past because this tape here, I don't think is original. In fact, if I look, it looks like it's been opened up on this side here at some point by someone. But it's new to me, and I'm going to presume whatever's in there is packed as it originally was. Anyway, next step, we're going to actually open this up and see what the heck is inside. All right, let's open this puppy up and see what we got. I'm very excited. Okay, well, that was easy. Okay. Wow, as I kind of am a little disappointed. I expected these to be at least on chargers or something, although that was probably foolish given the size of the box, but there you go. As was standard in militaries back then, they were stacked alternatively with paper on each side. The ammunition does have a little bit of corrosion on there, as you can see, as I would expect after this many years. And here is the head stamp. I'll put a picture of that. It is crimped. I'm pretty sure that is a Berdan primer in there. And it's got 50 for the year that it was manufactured. Looks like DAC, so Dominion Arsenal Canada. Yeah, so not all that fascinating here, but what we expected, I guess. A box of 48 rounds of .303 British ammunition. Now I'm going to pull one of these apart and see what they're made of. I'm curious if these are loaded with cordite or nitrocellulose. I suspect the latter, but one never knows. I also imagine, as I mentioned, that these are probably Berdan primed, though there was apparently some 303 British back in the day that was Boxer primed by Dominion Arsenal. Anyway, we'll find out when I actually pull this apart.
My father is an up and sailor, a lot, something else about my father, a lot,
Okay, first we'll start off with the bullet. Now, I am expecting that this is going to be lead core copper jacketed, and I can tell that immediately because, well, I can see lead and I see copper. But I'll test it with a magnet just to be sure. No. So this is in fact just a lead core copper jacketed bullet. And if my memory serves, this will probably be about 174 grains, but let's just make sure. I don't know if you can see the screen of the scale due to the lights, but I'll read it out for you. It would appear to be 173.3 grains in weight, which is about right. I mean, there's always that margin of error with mass-produced bullets. These were supposed to be 174 grains. 173.3 is just 0.7 grains off the mark. So, there you go. One bog standard bullet, which you can buy in bulk even today. Now, next, what's inside of the case? Now, here's something I wasn't expecting. I don't know how well you can see it in there. I'll put a picture up, which will hopefully show it a little bit better. But there appears to be some sort of wadding on top of the powder, and I wasn't expecting that. So I'm going to attempt to pull that wadding, and then we'll check out what the wadding is, hopefully figure out what it is, and we'll also pour the powder and figure out what's going on in there. Okay, had to do part of this off camera just because it was such a pain in the rear. The wadding proved to be paper. In fact, circular paper. It looks like it's two pieces, or one that's separating into two. I can't really tell, but that's all it was. Circular paper. Crazy. The case, not surprisingly, is brass, of course, and I mean, you can tell just by looking at it, but, you know, I ran a magnet on it just to be sure, and I couldn't get a good picture inside, but take my word for it, it is, in fact, Berdan primed, which, not a surprise, as most ammunition was in that era. The powder. Well, there's your powder. But let's find out how much it weighs, at least. We can at least do that much, and we have a charge of 37.3 grains. So it's 37.3 grains of cordite. Yeah, so no major surprises, I suppose. Cartridge has a Berdan prime case, probably corrosive, and a copper jacketed lead bullet. No big surprises there. And there you are, 1950s Canadian manufactured ammunition for the Korean War. Redneck, aren't you the one who constantly rails against the destruction of military history, such as bubble guns, and you ruined a pristine pack of historical ammunition? Okay, I expected that accusation. Yes, technically I did despoil this pack. That said, I'm putting this round back together and repackaging this pack. Now that said, while the packages aren't common, they aren't exactly rare either. I paid a little more than $1 a round when I bought this, and you can still buy these packs online. And I'd be shocked if at your next gun show, at least in Canada, you don't find a few of these boxes up for sale. So I don't think I really destroyed history with this video. At the end of the day, it's ammunition you can still buy and collect if that moves you. And like I said, I suspect that this had been opened previously. At any rate, I hope you found today's video to at least be mildly entertaining and vaguely informative. The Korean War is often referred to as the Forgotten War. So next Remembrance, Memorial, or Veterans Day, be sure to spare a thought for those who fought in that conflict. Take care, and bye-bye.